welcome to UMR. Game of Thrones is over, so we're doing True Detective Season 2 reviews. We just watched the first episode, so this is Season 2, Episode 1. My name is Mark, and this is Katie.
Hey.
This is Katie's first time, give a like for that. Anyways, the way this usually works, we have a couple drinks, and we watch a show, and then we review it. So if you haven't watched it, we're going to be very spoiler heavy. We're going to not pull any punches, and we're going to say it just like you just watched it with us. So for your sake, if you haven't watched it, we're going to tell you what we think between 1 and 5 right away. We're going to count to 3. We're going to fucking just let loose the floodgates. So quick impressions in one sentence. Katie, what'd you think of it? Unspoilerly.
Vague, confusing, slow. But it is the first episode. Still a lot of you're still sitting there. What are we inspiring?
Yeah. I have to agree with everything you just said. The only word I can think of is promising. Didn't really get to a lot. Didn't really get to a point. Right at the end, I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. But there are scenes. Just take scenes out of this that are fucking great. So, I'm going to give it a rather lower out of 5 compared to what I thought I would. Because I really liked the first season of this show. So, but hopefully it's going to be getting better. I'm going with a 3.25 out of 5 for this first episode.
I feel a little bad. I was going to go 2 point...
Go ahead.
Just because it...
2 point what?
2.8.
2.8.
Just because it leaves you, there's so many... There's
it's still positive. That's still positive.
That make you, get your emotions, get you going, but there's also so much where you're sitting there I don't really understand what's going on yet.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on. So, there you go, you got your rating. She gave it just slightly above positive. I gave it a little bit more, but not as high as I thought I would give. I gave it 3 1/4, she gave it 2 1/8. And there you go! Watch this episode, if you want to. If not, whatever. Then fucking, who cares? Have a good day if you're leaving right now. If you're not, now we're gonna get into everything. Started off with Colin Farrell talking to a lawyer, right? Was the first scene? And that was boring, rape. What? And that's not my kid. What? You have a rape kid? Whoa, alright, I'm interested. What's going on?
Yeah, that was definitely the first part that I peeked at. Oh shit, what the fuck's happening?
Okay, so we're starting with him having a rape kid. Alright, that's a good way to start the show. Moving on. And the throwing the money at her, that also caught me really off guard because he started off the first minute impression I had of him, I'm sympathizable, having a hard time of his life, and then he's just and I was that's the sleaziest thing I've ever seen! Holy shit! Alright, so, what else?
He only continues getting sleazier too.
Oh yeah, throughout that whole...
Scenes.
Sleazy.
Yeah. Then it goes to the Vince Vaughn first introduction.
With him. Yeah, at the
bar.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get more into that. And I think it's also that's gonna tie into what happened later with him going to that dude's apartment and beating the shit out of him. Because that scene made 0 sense. It was in the trailer, which made me really got me interested during the trailer. But it really didn't make any sense, so hopefully they get back and describe that. But yeah, so the first Vince Vaughn introduction, just in general, what did you think of Vince Vaughn?
I don't know, he always seems the same in everything. He really doesn't change character that much, but he does. He's
subtle.
still
he's very subtle with him.
You can always reference him back to other movies and other things like that, but he's still, I don't know, I still really like the character.
Yeah.
I'm still, kind of confused by him, but he He's doing a sleazy businessman very
He's not being funny.
Yeah.
Very obvious. I don't think there was a joke throughout this whole fucking episode.
No.
And then another thing with Vince Vaughn is I've only seen him play two different things. Everything he's ever been in and what he was in Swingers. If you've ever seen Swingers. He played a different character in Swingers. But besides that, his comedic roles, he's just like a straight guy saying funny things. Like, Vince Vaughn has never really convinced me, but it's what he wasn't saying in this episode. His face was really getting me. He has that really, like, serious, like, I'm gonna fucking stab you look. And he didn't end up stabbing anybody, which is nice. Okay. We talked about Vince Vaughn too long. Because we have to start speeding up. We get into let's just break her whole storyline down. What'd you think of the Rachel McAdams storyline?
I really like her. I'm excited for her character just because, like, you get actually her family members. Like, you meet her fucked up sister, you meet her crazy dad, you understand why she is the
closed off.
You know, and like that's the exact first scene with her is the guy that she's fucking. The fuck guy. All confused, and I think it's implied that they have anal sex.
Anal sex? Yeah, I don't know if it was anal or him coming too quickly, or I don't really know what that scene was about. Which is a negative. It is a negative. We gotta know a little bit of narrative. I mean, they could have gave us just a little bit more hint because the whole, like, first couple lines are like, oh, he came too quickly. One of those? Like, you always see that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, was it anal?
Yeah, because have you ever done that before?
And then she's so close up, like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I gotta go. You should go too. Like, I was like, what the? Yeah, but I do like that they extremely closed off, what the fuck, and then they do explain it, like, right away in the first episode. And her dad just spewed narrative all over her face. Like, I treated you like shit, your family treats you like shit, and you have a bunch of failed marriages, and da-da-da. That's why you suck. And I'm like, oh, that's why she sucks. Okay, cool. I can finally figure one thing out in this episode.
Yeah, she's the only character you actually get.
Yeah. Okay,
Then Army Boy.
Okay, Taylor Kitsch. It took us, 4 or 5 minutes to realize that was Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's Taylor Kitsch. You're like, no, yeah, what?
What is all this?
Him with short hair. Yeah, what the fuck's going on with him? Is he gay? Is that why he needs to take Viagra? Was he taking Viagra?
Yeah, in that shower scene, I'm just so confused as to what he was doing. I'm, like, it seemed to me like he had to take a male enhancement pill. Of some sort.
Something, yeah.
And then he won't stay,
Maybe it was in a depression because they brought up Army. Maybe it was PSD or something.
And then he's got that thing on his arm, too, and won't explain that, so it's before the Army. So I think there's gonna be a lot of storyline for him.
Yeah. So what would ever compel a motherfucker who's dating somebody that hot to drive with their lights off on a motorcycle like 270 fucking miles per hour? Holy shit, that is insanity! Was he trying to commit suicide? It's the question.
I feel like it was a thrill seeker thing.
I don't really. That's how you're going thrill seeker. I think it was suicide. I really do. I don't think that you could do that in Live. Like, I would never do that in my car. Even where I got this metal cage around me, I would never just lights off on a highway and hit gas unless I knew there's like a 30% chance I'd die at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured that scene out yet.
Yeah. Well, I guess not to just fight for my argument on that, but he had like a depressed, like crazy face on. They kept showing his face during it. If it was an adrenaline junkie, you think he would have had a little bit more of enjoyment?
Yeah, but he said, earlier when he got, put off the force or made to go on vacation.
For doing something with that chick? Did she blowjob him and that's what happened? Because they didn't even show that. They didn't explain it.
And how could she have, if he has to take... I don't know. We'll figure this out hopefully sometime this season. I
really hope the rest of the season isn't as vague as this. I hope that they go on to explain a lot of this. So we got, like, a couple more minutes, unless you're good with the Taylor Kitsch. You're good to move on?
I was good, yeah.
Cool. Colin Farrell.
Oh my god.
Holy shit! He owned it this episode. This was his episode.
I love his character.
He
already.
Is insane.
He's dirty, scummy cop. It's my favorite. It's totally my favorite because, like, just the way he's like, you can't fuck with me. Like, the way he talks to his own child.
I don't know what scene made me cringe more. I actually think it was that one, where he was yelling at his kid, or when he was beating the shit out of that dad. I think that him yelling at his kid was more intense. I think that made me go a lot more.
Just because it was his own child, it's not, it's his rape child. But...
But he even stated it's my kid, like, 3 times before that.
Yeah, and he's like, he's invested in this child. He cares about this child, but when he's
a ginger, so why? But...
so.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he states he's invested, and the first heart-to-heart we see was that.
No, it was
you're right.
When he drops him off at school, and
you're right.
Like, the kid's like,
I wish I could see you more. Yeah, and he even states, like, you should be my kid more. Mm-hmm. Okay, never mind. That was the tender scene. Moving on to, I will rip down your pants and spank you in front of the cheerleaders?
Yeah.
Dude, I would murder my dad if he said shit like that to me. Like, that's fucking hardcore.
You can tell why this child is scared shitless of everybody.
Why he's prone to being bullied? No shit. Right. Okay, so we have to talk about the beating.
That's so great.
Oh my god. So 2 lines that are so tweetable are the, when he's talking to his thing right before it, and he says, I want to be an astronaut, but they don't even go to the moon anymore. That was awesome. And then, of course, I will butt fuck your dad with your mom's headless corpse on the front lawn. That might beat out the, we need to find a cock merchant, the something about this dwarf's cock that was in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
yeah, you didn't see that episode, but there was a good cock merchant line. That might beat out the cock merchant line. Okay, we have one more scene I want to talk about. Let's do it really quick. Is the Vince Vaughn and
his lady?
Colin Farrell scene. No.
Oh, I know.
Is the bar. I mean, we can talk about his lady later.
She'll be in more stuff.
Yeah, she'll be in more stuff. But that scene, there was something about that scene that I really loved. Period. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about them staring each other down, having small talk that was really I really liked it.
Even how that scene started off, where it's Colin Farrell smoking that cigarette, just fucking enjoying it, and then Vince Vaughn and this woman playing this song about how she hates life, and then you figure out that they're sitting at the same booth. They're in the same bar, but you're not.
I was surprised. I didn't even think they were in the same bar. I thought it was just like, look, both of them are unwinding, and then it was like same table. I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming at all.
I absolutely love that Colin Farrell just fucking downs that Johnny Walker like it's nothing.
Did Vince Vaughn drink it more than he did the toast? Was that it?
He did one.
Yeah, and then
one drink with it.
Now, I stated it to her during of how if you would have just saw that scene, you would have think that Vince Vaughn was the respectable cop and not the probably criminal is what we're assuming. He's some mafia shit going on, which is really hard to tell. Something like that with the Russian, or is that what he was?
I feel like he's a businessman. But he's a shady businessman. I wanna compare him to other like super villains that do shit like that with the city. Like we're gonna make it better. Yeah. That's
all right. So you wouldn't have guessed he's the kingpin over the drunk piece of shit cop. Like that cop was he looked like such a worse person in that scene. But
yeah.
Okay. We have to end this within about a minute. So what you want to keep watching this? Are you sold on this show?
Just because I'm intrigued, yes.
Yeah,
I am. And the acting has been wonderful. Like, everybody has convinced me completely that they are their character, and I really want to see where they go.
I think that's, you hit the head right on the nail, that is the biggest positive of this episode. Not quite, I wouldn't give the writing or even the structure a lot, because it was really hard to follow, and I know that's what they were going for, but the performances were fucking top-notch. Top-notch. Even Vince Vaughn was just top-notch. Okay, like and subscribe if you haven't. Follow us. We're going to be doing this every week, hopefully. And let us know what you think about it in the comments, and if you give a shit about True Detective at all, because I'm really excited for this season. Do you have anything else before I say the most important part?
Nope.
Bye!
Excuse me.